Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Phantom. Today we are going to explain how to use ARMOD to complete our first augmented reality experience. Okay, before we start we need to prepare what we need. Okay, once we're ready we'll start by creating a Unity project via the Unity Hub. This can be done with the Universal Render Pipeline template. After creating it you can clean up some unused redundant resources. Next, we need to install the ARMOD development kit. You can fill in the registry provided by the documentation through the Package Manager option in Project Settings. Open Package Manager via Window and set Registry to My Registry in the upper left corner. Here we can directly install Project Wizard, which will help us to download all the corresponding versions of development packages. The project settings are required through the Tools Project Wizard. It is worth noting that Unity will restart after setting the input module. Perfect. Next we need to create ARMOD project, opening Package Tools from Tools in the menu bar. Create a new ARMOD project by right-clicking on the project area on the left side. The project must be stored in any folder under the Unity Assets folder, and the project name will be named according to the folder name you specified. At this point, the ARMOD project is created. We can go to Skekfab to download your favorite 3D models. On my side I downloaded an armored crab, which I had already adjusted the material effects and created as a prefab. We'll copy it to the artwork folder of the ARMOD project we just created to make the project look neater. Next we need to create an empty game object named PlaceObject. On top of it we need to create a new empty game object named Root. Underneath Root, create two new empty game objects named Meshes and Lights. Drag the armored crab into the Meshes game object to make it a child of the Meshes game object. We also need to put all the lights under the Lights game object. I'll set up the lights according to my personal preference. You can set them up according to your preference. After setting up the light, we need to save it as prefab. We create a new folder named Prefabs in the ARMOD project artwork folder and store ARobject here. Since real-time lighting is a very performance-intensive task, we need to bake the lighting to optimize performance. Select PlaceObject to add a script component called Prefab Baker, which will help us bake the lighting information to prefab. Open the Prefab Baker panel and remove the Auto Clean Scene Light Maps option, which will help us to preview and debug the baked effects more quickly. Click Bake to start baking lights. Do not delete lights and script components after baking, otherwise you will not be able to bake the light information to the prefab. Since we will be using the focus mode placement interaction experience, we need to make a focus state indicator. Create an empty game object named focus group, and 2 quad game objects named found and find. And according to Unity, 1 unit is equal to 1 meter in the real world size scale found and find the 2 game object. I personally set it to 0.1. And use material to set up a distinction between the 2 states. I will use red and green to differentiate. Then save it as prefab. Next we need to make the UI to display the button on the screen when the focus state is found. Let the user place the AR object to the specified location. Create a canvas and button, and set the canvas to fit the screen size. Adjust the button size, name it place button. A point worth noting is event system, the game object. If it is missing, the button will not be clickable, so we will drag it inside the canvas. Also need to make our canvas as prefab, with all our resources created. Next we need to configure the interaction logic of the AR experience. Open the project name plus mainentry.cs script in the scripts runtime folder. The logic of the script is divided into 3 parts. The first part loads the material resources we have prepared. The second part is to set the corresponding response to the feedback state of AR algorithm. For example, when the focus state is found, we need to display the button on the screen. The third part of UI interaction events. Okay, after understanding the script logic, let's start writing the code. Use the loadAsset method to load the AR object into the memory from our AR experience resource package. After loading, use the instance GameObject method to instantiate the GameObject loaded into the memory and set it to a non-display state. Similarly, we need to load the instantiated focus group, find 2 game objects, find and found, from the focus group, and set find as the display state by default. Here we also frequently modify the position, rotation, etc., so we need to cache the transform to make the program more efficient. Finally, you need to load the user interface and instantiate it, and add events to the button. When the button is clicked, the focus group and the button will be hidden, and then the AR object will be placed where the focus group stays. Although the onload function is the first executed function similar to the start in Unity, because we load resources asynchronously, the resources may not be loaded after the onload function is executed, so we need to determine whether the objects that need to be used are empty to avoid the error crashes. Judge what type of AR algorithm feedback the current on-event feedback is based on the type. Set different display effects for different focus states. When it is found, the button needs to be displayed, otherwise it will not be displayed. Finally, every execution of the onEvent function will synchronize the position, rotation, etc. of the focus group. Go back to Unity Editor and open Package Tools to configure ARMOD experience. Drag and drop prefab to content area. Build the AR Experience package. Go to Dashboard Developer Center and create an AR experience and upload the AR experience you just built. We will be able to experience the AR experience through the app with the ARMOD embedded. If you haven't embedded ARMOD yet, you can go to our GitHub repository and download the AR demo project for your platform to build it.